begin. What's up, guys? What's up, guys, and welcome to my first ever gardening video. Today we are going to be planting a couple of seeds. It is the 3rd of September. Springtime has just rolled in. It's a beautiful day outside today. As you can hear, the birds are going crazy, and yeah, it's starting to warm up, so it's time to plant. The past couple of years I haven't had much luck. I've made a couple of mistakes, a couple of big mistakes, which left me with tiny plants that didn't really go anywhere. So yeah, let's see if this time round I can get it right. Today we're going to be planting cherry tomatoes, normal tomatoes, some sweet peppers, and some jalapeños. Jalapeños are my favorite. Alright, so we have got a little bit of cocoa peat in here, mixed up with some water. It is busy sucking it all up. We've got some potting soil, and then we've got vermiculite that I'm going to mix in with the cocoa peat. So the mistake that I made the last time was that I was mixing in compost into my seed mix. You're not supposed to, apparently. Only found out now, which makes sense. I mean, the seedlings can't take the hot compost, the compost while it's still, yeah, compost. So they need cocoa peat, and then I've also read up that you can use potting soil. So what we're going to do today is we're going to do 4 in potting soil, 4 in cocoa peat, and yeah, we'll take it from there. I want to use up all the cocoa peat, so I might mix it up a little bit in between, because I have got 12 containers here, 12 pots, and I want to fill them all up today, hopefully with one of each. Let's get started. So we've got our small pots here. Let's check here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I'm going to count this one as a small pot as well, because, well, in comparison to the others, it is small. So yeah, we've got 3, 4, 5, yeah, in total 6, yeah, in total. Then I'm gonna have to take another 2 big ones just to fill up the space, and then we've got 4 big ones separate over here. Okay, so let's check it out. Let's take 4 small ones, because we're going to start with the cocoa peat and vermiculite mix. Which reminds me, I must actually boop. There we go. We'll just mix this up a little bit. It soaked up all the water. It comes in a brick. I'm sure it comes in brick form most places, but I found it quite fun to throw it in water and watch it expand. And it makes a lot more than what you'd think. So, oops, that's the shoe. Okay. So other than this, I want to mix in some of this vermiculite. I don't think I'm going to put the vermiculite into the potting soil. I don't think it's necessary. I also want to see the difference, see what happens if I just do the cocoa peat and vermiculite, and then separate to that the potting soil. I am open to constructive criticism. I'm definitely no professional at this. Like I said, I failed time and time again. So yeah, any constructive criticism is more than welcome, but for now I'm going to try my best. Okay, so here's our vermiculite. Apparently this is quite good for retaining the water, to keep the water. I think I used that term right. But yeah, so we're going to chuck this in there. I don't know how much. Obviously, the video I watched said you can throw quite a bit in, so I think I'm going to throw it all in, because this is a whole block of cocoa peat, so might as well throw it all in, give it a good mix up. I'm just worried about throwing too much in. Let's throw it all in. What's the worst that could happen? You can go in there, buddy. I got little pieces all over me. Okay, and we're going to give it a good mix in. All right. I think it might be a bit much, but it's too late now. Maybe if I'm done potting all of the smaller pots with the vermiculite and coco peat, I might just consider using some of the coco peat to mix in with the potting soil if there's left over, because from what I'm looking at the moment, there's going to be leftover. There's quite a lot in here, so we'll see near the end of this first part whether or not it is possible. I just want to make sure quickly if it's still recording. Let's take a look, see. Yeah, still recording. 6 minutes in, eh? Must invest in a camera guy. Nah, I'll be my own camera guy. I'm alright with it. Let's just get this good and mixed, and we can start the potting process. So if I did throw in too much vermiculite, let me know. I don't think it's too much. I've seen videos where they throw quite a bit in. So yeah, this should be okay. Just trying to get it nice and mixed without messing it everywhere. So I'm doing a great job of. Okay, I think that should just about do it. Looks well mixed in. It's not like a whole bunch sitting in one spot. Looks quite evenly mixed. Okay, so then we're going to start with our first pot. Let's go for it. So these smaller ones I'm going to fill up all the way. The bigger ones with the coco peat, I don't think it's necessary to fill it up all the way, because eventually I'm going to be transplanting them, and they do need nutrients and things like that down the line. Yeah, this is more for root growth, and yeah, just to make it easier for the tiny new roots to start and spread quite well. There's not any nutrients in this as far as I know, or if anything, very, very little. So I will have to transplant them. So I don't want to use too much of this, because it makes the transplant difficult if you've got a full pot as well, one of the bigger pots. This one's okay. And yeah, let's get started. Oh, let's see. I wanted to get stones or something to put into the bottom of these for good drainage, but I never got around to it. So for now, we're just going to do it like this. I mean, it's not the end of the world if it doesn't work out perfectly. It would just be nice if I get some decent plants out this season. I would be very happy about that. Okay, let's get a little saucer here. I've got mixed matched sauces. I've got a bit of everything. It's 2 plates over there. When you're poor, you use anything. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that can relate to that. I mean, yeah, not everybody's got cash for a shit ton of pots, a whole lot of pots, sorry. Trying to mind my language. Swearing is my second language. Or my first language, should I say. But yeah, so for these smaller ones, fill them up, get a little mixed matched sauce over there, plop them down. I know it's all messy, but that's gardening for you. I will wipe down the pots and that at a later stage. Most of these will be staying outside. I'm thinking of taking 4 of them inside, but I'll see closer to the time. I'm thinking these smaller pots will come inside with me. I like to put them on the windowsill, keep a close eye to them, a close eye on them. There's one of the plates, because yeah, I like watching things grow. It's fun, it really is. That's behind falling over my own words. That is why it's been a little bit disappointing not being able to get decent growth out of my plants. Not even just yield. I mean, I've gotten basically no yield. I got one little jalapeno from the last season, and that was a miracle. I don't know how it grew, because the plant was tiny. I think, not sure if you can see it in the camera, the plant is still standing there at the back, and yeah, he's not doing so great. But like I said, that's due to compost in the mix. Seeds don't like it. I can understand why. It was a silly mistake, but you live and you learn. Do a bit of research along the way. So far, I think I've researched enough for this stage of things to be able to get it right this time. If not, we'll try again. I don't mind trying again. It's not the end of the world. So we've got 4 of the small pots now that have got just the coco, peat and vermiculite in. We're going to do another 4 of them with coco, peat and vermiculite. Yeah, I think those 4 I can leave outside, along with the 4 that are just getting potting soil. Then we can see more or less what the difference is between the two. That's why I'm doing all the different inside, outside, potting soil, coco peat, just to see what works, what doesn't work. Yeah, let's get to it again. Okay. There we go. Another one. I don't want to fill it too much. I don't mind if it drains and goes down, but when I water it, I don't want it expanding more. It is quite saturated with water at the moment, so my hopes are that once I've planted things, that it just gets dry and doesn't lose its structure. It basically should act like a set of lungs for the roots, that when the water dries out or starts to dry out, that it leaves space for the roots to grow, and then once I water it, that it all swells back up, giving the roots a good amount of water, keeping them nice and wet, not letting them dry out or anything like that. So yeah, that's the idea. It doesn't always work out how we plan, but that's the idea. Okay, there's number 5. And alright, these are all pots from last season. I did give them a good wash. I know there are going to be people who say, like, gotta watch out for any old soil that might be contaminated from plants that didn't make it, plants that got diseases or anything like that. So I did take the precaution. As you can see, I'm only filling this one up halfway, but they're all cleaned. I gave them a good rinse. Obviously didn't wash it with anything like dishwashing liquid or bleach. Yeah, I just gave them a good rinse, made sure that all the old soil was off, and yeah, but it's nice and clean for the new ones. Let's move the seeds up here a bit. My little spray bottle. Let's get him down there. Okay, now it's the 2 big ones. So yeah, it's going to be a matter of fill it up halfway. Oh, these are so big, much less than halfway is perfectly fine. Yeah. See, the problem is it's so wide. I don't want to waste so much, but it's okay. It's okay. We'll deal with it. There is number 7, and number 8 is on his way. I really think for the next one I'm going to get some river rocks. We've got some beautiful rivers around here. I don't think it's necessary for me to go buy river rocks. I'm just going to go collect a whole lot of small river stones. Yeah, I think that's legal. I hope that's legal. And yeah, then we see from there. This one will be one of the outside ones, so we can put him over there. I noticed he's got a bit of a a hole in the bottom, but it's okay. Like I said, he'll be outside, so I don't mind. It's just the smaller ones, they need to be able to catch the water. I don't want water all over my windowsill, and it does get a little bit messy once things start running. So yeah, okay, so we've got a decent amount. Not sure if you can see from there, we've still got a decent amount of coco peat and vermiculite in here. So like I said, gonna mix the potting soil in with this, because I already know that the potting soil we get around here is quite rich already. It's already got compost and things like that mixed in. So, you know, I don't want to go and just use the potting soil, you know, just in case it doesn't turn out quite well. I really want this one to turn out well. So let's grab a couple of scoops, make sure it is the loose stuff, not the chunky stuff. Sometimes you get big chunks in between. That's not good for seedlings. So let's just get it all mixed up here. Yeah. Just make sure there's no big pieces. Break it up nicely. Boom. A little bit more. Yeah, oh, wait. See what I mean? Feeling chunky boys. Okay, I crushed it up. You see, that's compost. That was a piece of compost right there. Hey, look at that. Ain't that nice, huh? Little earthworm. I don't think you guys can see it from there, but yeah. Signs of good soil is earthworms, so we'll let this little buddy live here by my mulberry tree, and we'll carry on with this here. I only saw the one in there, but where there's one, there's bound to be more. Let's mix it up nice. There we go. Yeah, I've got so much of this here now. I think I've mixed in enough, eh? I don't want to overdo it, and then I've got left over, but then again I can just chuck it over my granadilla plant that was planted out the other day. Chuck it in there if there is anything left over. These I'll probably fill up a lot more of the way, because they'll end up staying in these pots longer than what these guys will, because give me a second, because there's already compost. There's a potting soil, which means nutrients, which means it won't have to be transplanted as early. These guys will have to be transplanted after their second true leaves, I think. I'll just have to go double check up on that. Different plants prefer different things. But yeah, generally on their second true leaves, then you transplant them into something with a bit of potting soil and a bit of compost, things like that. So these will already have that in, so it won't be necessary to transplant it as early. So I think I'm going to fill these guys up all the way, or at least as much as I can, you know, with what I've got here. It should work out just fine. There we go. We got number one, got number two. Yeah. Okay, on second thought, filling them up all the way means I'm going to need a bit more potting soil in here. I see now as I'm chucking it out and trying to evenly divide it between the four of them, it's not going to be enough. So let's get a bit more potting soil in there. This potting soil is so dark. I mean, it says potting soil on the sack, on the bag, but I think it's basically just compost at this point. It's been sitting outside for a while as well. Bought it last season. I was planning on doing a lot more gardening last season, but got quite disappointed with the plants that just weren't growing to size and weren't doing what I wanted, and their growth got stunted. So it was disappointing. But I have high hopes for this season. I've done a bit more research. It's not to say it's going to work out, but I really hope it does. Yeah, I think I've got a decent amount in here now. Just give it a good mix up. Don't want any hot spots. Apparently, I don't know it as a fact, but apparently if you have clumps of compost and things like that, it gives your roots a burn, because the compost is considered hot. I don't know how true that is. I know compost gets hot in big heaps. I've literally seen it in the mornings when we're riding in the winter time, and there's a bit of a cold breeze in the air, and the fog starts coming. You can literally see the steam pulling off of the compost heaps along the farm. We live out in farm territory, yeah, so the farmlands, we drive through it quite a lot for work, and you can see the steam coming up off of them. So there's some heat going on in there. I've been told that sometimes they even set on fire. I've never seen that before, but it's interesting to know that it does that. I've been wanting to start up my own little compost heap at the back here, but yeah, I don't want anything setting on fire either, so I think I'll have to do some good research on that one as well, eh? But yeah, I think we've almost got it mixed in nice and good here. And we can start dividing it up between the 4 pots. Okay, let's do this. There is number 1. There we go. Number 2. Okay. Number 3. And here comes number 4. There we go. That worked out. It did not fill them up all the way, but like I said, I'm okay with that. It doesn't need to be all the way full. I will be transplanting these eventually, so they don't have to be all the way. It's okay. Okay, let's just move it around a bit. I don't want to push it down too much. I want to keep it a little aerated. Let's give this one a good down. Little stomp. If you know, you know. There we go. What is this? All right. Okay. Number 2. Number 3. And number 4. There we go. So happy I cut my nails earlier. It's nothing worse than having all this stuck underneath your nails. I don't mind the dirty. Actually I quite like it, but I can't handle it if it's stuck under my nails, and I can't handle it if it's dry. It has to be at least a bit wet, a bit moist, damp if you must. So yeah, we've got number 1. Up. Piglet. Let's do this. Chuck out any water there. Get that guy to the side. I've been facing a little bit of an angle here, just so that I've got space to work and you guys can see what's going on. It's my first one of the gardening videos, so it's a trial and error thing. We'll see at a later stage. But yeah, so let's begin planting. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I think I should just give my hands a little bit of a rinse. I don't want to ruin these seed packets because they are almost like a cardboard type of material with a lamination over it. So if you get it wet, it's just going to ruin it. Then I have to put the seeds in somewhere else, and it's a whole mission. So let me give my hands a rinse quickly. I'll be right back and we can start planting some seeds. I'll show you guys a bit later a couple close-ups of my favorite plants. This is a mulberry tree. It is beautiful. It's a cutting, so it's already got mulberries on, even though it's so tiny. And then in the back there, I don't think you can see it at all, up against the fence is a granadilla tree. Also a cutting, also still very small. The last two granadilla plants didn't work out at all, but apparently we were overwatering it. They don't like too much water, otherwise they go into flowering mode. They think it's time to give off fruit. And then, as well as I didn't mix in enough compost and things. Ironically, this time didn't mix in compost really or anything like that. Wasn't sure, didn't do the research. Always do the research. If you don't do the research, you're gonna make mistakes, but it's fine. So this time around we've got an even bigger, healthier plant. I put in quite a bit of compost into the soil with it, so it should be all right. It's a decent size hole, and once they get past a certain size, these plants they're ridiculous. They'll just take over. My hopes is that one's going to take over this entire fence. There used to be a big plant, a big old granadilla plant along that fence back in the day. But unfortunately, the guy who helps us out in the garden, he wasn't too sure about how to cut away from it and how to neaten it up. And he landed up snipping one of the main veins, one of the main life support of the plant, because underneath it all, it looks dead. It looks, like there's no life there. So yeah, he cut it away, and the plant unfortunately died. Slowly but surely we had to watch it die off. If I had known back then what I know now, I would have done a couple of cuttings with it and hopefully saved a few of them. But you live and you learn. All right, let's get to the planting. My hands should be just about dry. Let's just give them a last bit of a wipe off over here. Get a sip of water. Got to stay hydrated. Plants like the water. I like the water. Okay. Mustn't forget my other sauces. As you can see, mix and match, mix and match. I'm not even sure where the sauce came from. I think when we moved in here, it was in the garden. So I'm using it. Used it a couple times already. And yeah, gardening gets expensive if you're trying to go buy a whole lot of new stuff all the time. And seeds alone and the soil and all that's already expensive. I bought last season quite a few of these small pots, and yeah, it's frustrating how expensive it is. You got to put out a bit of money to get things going, but it's all right. It's worth it. I wasn't going to spend too much money this season because I just want to know that the plants are actually going to make it this time, that they're going to grow. So yeah, I'm going to try and keep these in order, the same order that they are, like this, just so that I don't have to mark all the pots. You'll see some of the pots do say like jalapeños, peppers, cauliflower, things like that on it, but I'm not going to bother marking them this time. I'm going to use the power of my mind. Wish me luck. And yeah, so I'm just going to try and remember where everything is, which actually makes me think now I should arrange the pots in that order before the time now already and keep them in that order, please. Okay, let's take these big guys. I think the big guys you can put in front there. Bring all the small guys here to the back. Got that. Another small guy over here. You can come to the front. Yeah, that's good. Okay. All right, so from what I know, most seeds like half a pinky tip depth, because especially these smaller seeds, they struggle to come up if you plant them too deep. I have made that mistake in the past. I used to shove my whole pinky in, and then they're all the way down there, and then I wonder, like, why aren't my plants coming up? Why is there no action here? So yeah, I've learned that lesson already. We are going to start off now with the cherry tomatoes. I love cherry tomatoes. I can eat cherry tomatoes just like that. No salt, no sugar, no nothing. Cherry tomatoes are amazing. Let's get a couple out here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to plant 2 seeds in each pot, because sometimes the seed doesn't grow to its full potential, and then sometimes the seed just doesn't come up either, and I really would like for all of them to come up. So yeah, let's do that. I got basil mixed in here as well. Basil and tomatoes apparently love each other, so I'm not going to do the basils this time. The basil this time around. I'm only going to do the cherry tomatoes because, yeah, I just want to see how it goes. I'll do some basil separately, and maybe next time we can do some basil mixed in with them as well. But for now, I'm just focusing on these 4, just these 4. I've also tried to plant too much at once before, and that also just becomes a lot of work all at once, so you're not as motivated to get everything done, and there's too much going on. So with this, there's a bit of science going on here, a bit of an experiment, as well as there's not too much going on. I've only got 12 pots that I need to look after, so yeah. Sorry, I'm not sure if you guys can hear the neighbors. I'll have to voice over a lot of this. This is my nature spot, so it's close enough for the neighbors to maybe be in the cameras. But yeah, if it is, then I'll do a little bit of a voiceover here and there. I don't necessarily want to do a voiceover. I prefer to keep it all like this. Maybe I'll keep it all like this the first time. If things bother you guys, you can let me know in the comments, and I'll fix it. I'll do it differently. We'll change it up. We'll see what works and what doesn't. Okay, so cherry tomatoes. I know that one says peppers, but it's going to be cherry tomatoes. So yeah, 1 and 1. There we go. Another 1 and 1. I'm also trying not to compress the soil as I'm making the little hole, which obviously will not allow the roots underneath. So yeah, let's keep doing it. 1 and 1. Okay, let's get out 2, 4, 6. 6 little seeds. Something in my head tells me I should put in more than 6. But these seeds, this brand, Kirchhoff's, I think I'm pronouncing that properly. But this brand, usually all the seeds come up, or most of them at least, so I'm not too worried. So yeah, put 1 in that hole. Well, 2 dropped in that one. Too late. Got 1 in that one. 1 over here. And another one. And the last 2. Up. Okay, well, another 2 fell into that one hole. Can't really help it. I've still got 5 seeds in my hand, yeah. I'm thinking maybe it's just, I can always pull them out, figure it out at a later stage. I'm not too worried about that. Let's put a few more in. Okay, time to start covering them up. I put these extra ones more on the surface here, just for curiosity's sake. And yeah, these other ones I'm covering up nicely now. Not too much pressure on top. Still want to leave it space to be able to come up. Just check here, where's the one on top? There he is. Cover it up. Cover it up. God, we're getting somewhere. We are getting somewhere. Okay. Covering it all up. Awesome. All right, guys. What was that? Okay, we've got the cherry tomatoes done. Let's find the little bag that it came in so I can put it back where it's supposed to be. Ah, there we go. These seeds really do go a long way. They've lasted me a couple seasons now, a couple failed seasons. So yeah, they really do go far away. There's a lot of seeds in these bags. So we got that one and the tomatoes. All right. Okay. Hello. Oh, there. I didn't even pick it up. Okay, cherry tomatoes. Gotcha. On to the next one. We've got normal tomatoes. Wait, I think there's a special name for these tomatoes. I know there's a wide variety of tomato plants. You know, that looks like a tomato, smells like a tomato, tastes like a tomato, but it's got some weird name. So yeah, this one is called Rodade. Rodade? Rodade. The Rodade tomato. Let's get out 2, 4, 6, 7, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's go for 9 seeds because I also want to do the top and keep it all even and do the same with everything. So let's take out 9 seeds. Never works out that I try to throw out 9 seeds or a certain amount of seeds and it actually that amount only comes out. Generally I get a handful and then I'm not sure what to do with it and I don't like to throw them back in the packet. So let's aim for success. Come on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I got it. I got it. Alright. I will sort that out now. Let's just get these guys into the ground. Ah, no. Forgot to make the holes. Okay, so we got 1 hole, 2 hole, 1 hole, 2 hole, another 1, and another 2. So, seed number 1. Seed number 2. Seed number 3. Seed number 4. Seed number 5. Seed number 6. And I dropped one here somewhere now and there were 2 stuck together. So I'm left with 1 seed instead of 3. But that's okay. I could try and check out only 2. See if that works. Probably not. But hey. Let's see. Hey, wait. Oh yeah. You can just grab them, yeah. Okay, I got 1 over there, got 1 over there, and I got 1 over there. Sorted. Okay, let's cover these guys up. There we go. Not too harsh. There we go. The ones on the top, literally just pulling some stuff over, you know, a little bit. Okay, there we go. him. And there we go, covered up. And the one with the potting soil. That's it. Cool. Alright, there's tomatoes done. The rodade tomatoes. I really don't know how to pronounce this one, so you guys can try to tell me, but I mean, I'm just gonna read it the same in the comments in any case. I'll watch a video, you know. I'll pick it up eventually and have a good laugh at myself. Okay, so like I said, keeping it in order, we've got the cherry tomatoes on top, boom, normal tomatoes, boom, in that order. Coming up next, we have got sweet peppers, pepper sweet. It's a different brand, this one. What's this one called? Hold. This one's called Raw, I think. Yeah, raw seeds. Oh, it's also Kershaw. It's just a different packaging, I guess. Okay, I wonder why it says raw on it then. Obviously the seeds are raw. We're worried if they're a bit cooked, you know. Okay, so let's make some holes. There we go. Make some holes. There we go. And make some holes. There we go. A lot of this part I'm going to speed up. It's going to be like holes, seeds. I'll stop if there's funny stuff in between, but yeah, a lot of this will be on fast forward in any case. We'll see what happens. If I see it's necessary to put in more, I'll put in more of the scenes of what's going on. If you guys like it, if you guys like me talking like this, you can let me know. I'll do it. I don't mind. I'll do it for you. But yeah, this one looks like it's going to be a tough one to get open now. Packet has been so flattened. Come on, buddy. Yes. Come on. There we go. Okay. No, wait. I don't think blowing in that would be such a good idea. Almost made a mistake. I don't want any moisture in here. Otherwise seeds start going off. Let's open this up just a little bit more. I'll pick that up now. There we go. That'll make it a lot better to access. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There we go. I think I got enough in my hands. Yeah. Let's take a quick look. Sorry for the background noise. I'm not sure what's going on that side. Okay. We got 1. Hey, we got 2. 1 fell into this pot already. So he's chosen his home. That's where he's going to stay. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's already got his extra buddy there. So there's an extra buddy over here and an extra buddy over here. Okay, let's get them all covered up nice and lightly, not too bad. The topsoil one, just scrape some stuff over so that he's hidden, and yeah, that should do it. Ah yes, close these guys up too, hey, that'll help. Okay, so that is our sweet peppers done. Let's quickly just put them with the others on the peg of order. Okay, so we've got the cherry tomatoes, and now the sweet peppers in that order. Got to keep them in that order. All right, and on to my favorite, the jalapeños. Jalapeños are apparently notoriously difficult to grow. like I said, the past couple times I haven't been able to, but for my own personal mistakes, you know. So maybe they are a bit easier than what I originally thought, or what's been originally been said. We'll see this time around. We've got pots for experimentation and camera for documentation. So yeah, let's see what happens, guys. Made all my holes there. Get out my jalapeno seeds. Jalapeno. Alright. Okay, I didn't even count those coming out now, but I think that's more than enough. Let's take a look. See, got 1, 2, 1, 2, and we got 4 extras. Let's put 1 on the topsoil there, 1 on the top here, 1 on the top here. That's one I'll eat. Nah, I'm just fucking with you. We'll put an extra one over here. They say with the jalapenos or any peppers, any hot peppers, it's the seeds that are actually hot. And I can believe it. I've had some jalapenos before where the seeds changed my ringtone. Let's just say it wasn't the best experience. No amount of cream cheese in the world could make that better. Okay, closing it all up, covering the top ones. Okay, so everything is still quite damp from me saturating I think I'm using that word right, from me soaking the coco peat in the water. So I don't know, I'm just going to spray it to let the soil settle a little bit better, let the excess water drain out the bottom, and yeah, we should be done, eh? I'm pretty sure we're done. Let's quickly get these jalapenos and put them in order. Okay. Hello? Not sure if you guys saw that, but something flew into me. A little bit of a freak out moment. But okay, let's go through it again. We've got the cherry tomtatis, the normal tomtatis, the daddy, the strange tomatoes, tomtatis, if you know, you know. The sweet peppers, and then last but not least, the jalapenos. And keeping them in order. Must not lose this order, otherwise we won't know what's going on. Okay, so I don't want the rain or anything to really mess up my seeds outside here. So what I'm going to do is, there's like a little aftaki, a little stoop kind of thing over there. I'm not sure if you can see it from here, but it's literally just a little roof hanging over. It used to be a pigeon cage that we converted into a room back in the day. Both my brother and I lived in it. It's pretty sick, but it gets pretty cold in the winter and pretty fucking hot in the summer. So yeah. Yeah, so I'm gonna lay them out underneath that little thing so that if any rain comes along, it doesn't absolutely destroy it. I'll move them out from there once the seeds start to pop, once they start coming up and they're plants and they've got strong enough roots to hold in the soil. I'll feel comfortable taking them out from underneath there. Alright, so yeah, I don't think it's necessary for me to take the camera and show everything. I'm pretty sure you guys could see the process. I did explain it as well as possible. And yeah, from here I'm just gonna give it a good old spray. Actually do that while the camera's still on. But yeah, once I'm done with this, I'm just going to clean things up a bit and take everything inside. Yeah, So then what we have to do is check back up on these guys in the next 3 to 5 days. We should have little seedlings going. Hopefully we have little seedlings going, and yeah, then we can make our next video, guys. I shall keep you guys updated as I go along. There's another one over here. Go. Just making sure the top is wet enough for the seeds to start off. There we go. What I actually wanted to do was take a whole lot of these and put them over the top, but we chucked out a whole lot of bottles the other day. Don't know why. I really wanted to use them, but that is the plan in future, is to put those over, keep the humidity on the soil, keep the soil moist as well, and it doesn't drain as fast. And yeah, from what I've seen in videos and that, it helps the seeds grow faster with the humidity. So we'll try and do that next time, but for now I'll use those two on 2 of them, I guess. I want to actually see if I'm going to use none of them. Let's keep it all the same for the experiment's sake. Okay. Yeah, this cocoa peat, just as you put the water in, it runs straight through. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Go. Okay, there we go. Got it all sorted. Okay. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this one. I'm going to take these guys, put them in their place. I'll snap a couple of photos, put it in the end of the video to show you guys where everything's sitting. And then, yeah, I'll check back with you in 3 to 5 days. Hopefully 3, maybe 5. And we'll see if we've got some growth going. Quite exciting. My favorite part, waiting. All right.